What is going on, guys? I'm Wash Ergo, and today we are here with my 1987 Porsche 944 that just died. Are you kidding me? I probably put like 20 miles on the car. But there's a big puddle underneath it. It's starting to overheat just a little bit. Luckily, I was close to a place I could park it. We're gonna go get the trailer. We went out to like one of the few fun roads around here, and I was gonna make a couple passes down the road and rip it, and then I saw the temp start creeping up, so I shut it down. We popped the hood, and the coolant milkshake was there. So we're gonna get this thing in here, diagnose what's wrong with it, and I hope it starts. It's been sitting out there for a very long time. It has a brand new battery, and if you guys were here for the Porsche build, you know that we drug this out of a field. I paid $500 for it. It looked nothing like this. It looked absolutely terrible, which it's kind of starting to again after sitting outside for so long. But all we did was clean the fuel injectors and put some new fuel in it, and the thing started. Now after that, I put a ton of hours into it, like weeks worth of work, bringing it back to life, and I love the car. It's great. It's got what, new speakers, a full tune-up. We had to replace the old rubber flywheel with a static clutch setup. New fluid reservoir on the transmission. AC was just charged. I mean, on and on. The list is insane. Everything works on the car. It blows my mind. It was super fun to drive. And the one thing I hadn't done was a timing belt. So I think we're gonna go ahead and do a timing belt now too. So it's gonna be a big continuation of the build. We'll finish the restoration so it starts every time as soon as I breathe on the key, and I can go tear it up again. It's probably one of the most fun $500 cars I've ever driven. And it's got a lot of character and pop-up headlights. Can't argue with that. And since I went and got the key out for the first time in a long time, it's an original key too. It's really cool. I gotta give a huge shout out to Aristocrat Porsche in Kansas City. They gave me this beautiful white leather Porsche keychain. I was up there hanging out with them. We were talking about the Taycan Turbo and just having a good time. And I was like, hey, can I buy one of these keychains? And they were like, here. I was like, that's amazing. So I got the white leather to match the white Porsche. And I mean, it's just a beautiful piece. It's got the Porsche crest on there, and it's all filled in with the paint and all that good stuff. And it's got gold accents. Goes perfectly with your gold foil Watch Ergo shirt. Shop watchergo.com. All right, let's go get the car. So old school, no remote. No user convenience features. Please start, please start, please start, please start. Hey! Wow, this thing has not been running in a long time. It sounds like it's got a miss. Well, the 944 is in the garage, and it has a pretty nasty miss. I started unplugging spark plug wires, and when I unplugged the, I think this is either 4 or 1, it's the back one, it's probably 4, there was no change in how it was running. So I think that injector may need replaced at this point. It's probably about time for that anyway, so maybe we'll look into replacing that while we're going through it, because what, the distributor cap, rotor, wires, and plugs are all brand new. And I think fuel pressure regulator's new, a lot of this thing is new. So I'm doubting it's the ignition, and there was definitely spark jumping off of the terminal there. And now it's time to figure out why we have coolant milkshake. So let's take a look here. Shouldn't be hot at all. We got a little bit of, tiny bit of pressure there. Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty white. There's not an easy way to actually see in the coolant, but you can see right there that that's what we're working with. This is going to be a lot of fun because I'm going to have to drain the radiator down, which is basically inaccessible, so we can do that from under the car, I'd assume, and we're going to have to flush the whole cooling system too, because it's filled with coolant and oil. So there's two possibilities here: the head gasket or the oil to water cooler. That sits on the side of the engine and acts as a heat exchanger between the oil and the coolant, and those things fail pretty often on these cars. Step 1, get your cheap Porsche in the air. Let's throw the quick jacks underneath it and get to work. Well, I've already found one problem, and I just got the car in the air. As soon as I did, I saw a trail of oil, and this trail of oil looks to be coming from the oil pressure sender or something like that. So let's take a look up underneath this thing. As you can see, everything's pretty wet. Probably needs a valve cover gasket, but somehow the steering, the inner tie rod boot there is covered, and there's a bunch of oil dripping down the frame right there, which must be coming from up above, like valve cover area, because everything down here is, you know, relatively old wetness. I mean, this is one very wet engine. It's been covered in oil for years and years and years, and it is time to start cleaning all that up. So if you look straight back through there, that housing with the oil pressure sender where those two wires are, right there and right there, those two wires and this body, that's the oil pressure sender. And what that oil pressure sender screws into is the oil cooler. So it's that giant assembly right there. It's surrounded by bolts, and it's a big job to take that thing off. So let's get started by draining the oil and seeing what the oil looks like, and we'll go from there. I'm about to be ashamed to say I changed the oil last time. I don't know if I did or not, but that thing was incredibly tight, like almost impossible to get off tight. Well, that oil actually looks perfect. Literally perfect. There's no miles on it. What an insane amount of oil too. There's like 7 quarts in that thing. And now that we've got the oil out of there, it's time to get the coolant out of here, because I know that coolant is looking really ugly. So here is our coolant drain plug. Let's see if we can get the screwdriver in there. Give this thing a twist. Nice. It is free. So let's make a mess. Man, we ran out of coolant fast, and it went everywhere. Let's see what we've got down in here. Oh yeah. Instead of playing around, I think we're just gonna go ahead and hit this thing with the big hammer. Obviously, timing belt change is unknown, so I was gonna do the timing belt anyway, and since the timing belt's getting done, and the oil cooler's getting done, and the headers already had to be off, let's just do the head gasket, because I've got the head gasket kit sitting here too. So I think over the next 2-3 days, we'll just rebuild this entire thing. So I'm gonna start time-lapsing, and we'll just start ripping this whole thing apart. Fuel rail's gotta come off, all the ignition stuff's gotta come off, just everything's gotta come off, especially the timing cover. So let's get to it. All right, the airbox removal took a long time actually, because there are a ton of fasteners on it. Now I guess I'm gonna chase down the intake manifold, because it's the next thing that will free up a ton of room in here. So I'm gonna start by pulling all the spark plug wires off and numbering them front to back, kind of as we keep. Whoop. As we keep removing them. So I got rid of the F250 key that was in my pocket too. So we're gonna call this one 4, and the next one down here on the bottom is 3. Looks like we've done something insane here. The entire intake manifold should be loose, and I think I can leave every single bolt. Grab this injector O-ring, because those are all new, I don't want to lose them. I think I have every bolt out that needs to come out except for that one that was retaining a wiring harness. Maybe we should just pull all these just to make life easy. Okay. There's still something sort of holding that on there. So if we can get this last vacuum line off, I think the entire intake is free. Leave it to Porsche. There's one more hose clamp that you have to go through a place you can't get through to get it off. Wow, there's one hose clamp that's completely hidden underneath this thing. I think I finally have that hose that's buried all the way underneath here. Let's see if I can push it back off the manifold here. That is a crazy job. There's a Porsche intake manifold. Throttle position sensors by Bosch. And this thing is just absolutely nasty. Look down in there, we'll have to clean all that up. Whew. Gaskets seem to be in good shape though, they all came right off. After an insane amount of work, I got every exhaust nut broken loose off of these studs, and you have to remove the studs apparently, which is pretty wild, and all the heat shields. So of course I had to pull the heat shields off and all the bolts surrounding that, and there's a coolant crossover that goes front to back that had to come out too. Now I'm gonna try to get in here with this, pull every one of these nuts off, because I gotta get these big thick washers off of there, and then you need to use two of the nuts together to create a jam nut and pull the studs out. Well, power tools in this job don't exactly go together. Maybe if the engine was out, but since it's not, I'm just gonna get back in here with the ratchet wrench and remove every single bolt. Well, that's not the worst job in the world. I haven't gotten any of the studs out, but it only took about 30 minutes or so, 45 minutes to get every bolt out of the exhaust. You have to do it all by hand with a wrench, basically. So let's take a look at what happens. It looks like you gotta take the studs out. It's already on the firewall here. Let's see. This is sort of promising. Maybe, maybe not. Wiggle. Oh, come on. There's the center. Let's see if we can get the outers out. I've heard it's impossible. It's certainly worth a try. It does appear to be impossible. Try number two, I've got the rear studs out and the front tried to come off. Okay, so now the front is off. It looks like somebody's kind of beat in the heat shielding and got this done before. I know the studs aren't in my way now. Oh, come on, it's so close. Can't even tell what I'm hitting now. And there you go. I only had to take out 2 studs. Not bad. Okay, we fought all the big battles except for the actual head bolts today, I think. Knocking everything down. So, let's see what I need to do next. I do need to make sure this thing is set to TDC, and then I need to pull all the belts off the front end and get all these covers off. So, that is kind of what's next there. And then once the distributor and everything and the timing belt's off, I think we can pull the valve cover and then we can pull the head. And now if I pull this heat shield off, I can get to the oil cooler, which was the entire original idea here. So I decided to be a grown-up and go to O'Reilly's and buy a tool I've needed for literally ever, a magnetic spark plug socket. And these were 13/16, and I didn't have one that was deep enough, weirdly. I think usually I can get a wrench on there when I'm doing these, but in the Porsche you can't. It's recessed just enough to make that impossible. But while I was at O'Reilly's, check this out. They had a Holley LS Fest 67 Camaro diecast. Why doesn't it have my name on it? It's like the watch JR Go car for LS Fest. Anyway, super pumped about that. I had to buy it. That was the coolest thing. A permanent part of the diecast collection. Now, where's the Porsche 944 one? Anyway, back to this thing. As you can see, we've got most of it apart here. I guess I could turn on the light for you guys. And I mean, we're moving right along. Up next, I need to take out the oil to water heat exchanger. I just have to get that shield off of there, and we should be able to take that out. One issue is the oil filter is incredibly tight. I'll see if I can get a filter wrench on there next and see if that helps out. I finally got the engine to TDC. There's a little tiny O that you can see through the window on the back of the engine. Let me try to show you guys that window. It's definitely not easy to see, but if you look straight down right on top of the position sensors, there's that tiny little window and there's an O in there. I guess it's impossible to see on camera, but if you look super close in real life, you can see it. That's supposed to have an OF, I think, but all I saw was an O. And I had already checked by using a screwdriver while I was running the engine by hand, so I could see where the piston was at. So I'd already kind of found TDC. I just wanted to verify it. Well, I went inside so I could eat my Totino's pizza. Ate the whole pizza. It was delicious. And now I'm out of time. I've missed the upload deadline for tonight, but that is still gonna be our stopping point for today while I continue fighting that oil filter and work on moving towards the oil cooler down there. We made a ton of progress. I'd say most of this engine is taken apart. Tomorrow we'll get the rest of the timing cover and the distributor drive and all this camshaft cover and all that fun stuff off, and hopefully get the head off. And that should be about it. And then we can clean up these parts and put it all back together and have a brand new Porsche 944. Anyway, that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.watchjrgo.com where you can get cool shirts just like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. And I will talk to you next time. I know everybody was missing this car and I was missing it too. So it was overdue to get back on a little bit of Porsche work here.